Hello to you wherever you may be in the world, and it's good to connect. Do feel free to say hello. So today's topic is on you are enough, you are good enough, and this is something that is speaking volumes, and I'll say speaking volumes. So whatever I feel authentically in my heart is what I'll share with you, and any ideas that pop up. So, to me, what is being good enough? What does it mean, and how does it resonate with you? So, being good enough is about feeling a sense of self fulfillment, standing strong in one's identity, self belief, beyond everything else that is happening, beyond all the challenges, etc. So, why did I think about this topic? Because believe it or not, this past week I was going through moments of, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right place? Am I heading in the right direction in terms of my creative entrepreneurship goals? And there will also be some days where I feel like I'm hitting a wall, where that wall will pop up sometimes in lack of clarity. It might pop up as questioning as to, am I doing something that is like going to produce results, etc. So it's questioning. And also part of it, of my mechanism, which you may resonate as well, is this thing about wanting to perfect things, although I have let go massively let go of those type of things. So for you is also identifying things that pop up in your mind that negate the direction that you're heading to. And sometimes that feeling of that sense of not feeling good enough, it may arise due to comparison. So comparison of what other people are doing in your circle, or they might be in greater or grander places like social media platforms. For instance, you might start comparing yourself because you believe that somebody else is doing much better, they're more successful, they seem well put together, and they are building traction more than you are, because you're not seeing the results. So that's where self-doubt may come from, or not feeling good enough. It may also come from seeking or wanting to be validated, and seeking that confirmation from those who are near to you, those that, your loved ones, to say, am I doing the right thing? And if they don't say you're doing the right thing, or you present something and they negate that, then you may feel insufficient or not good enough. Okay. Or you might also be seeking validation from the external world, the external sources to validate that you are good enough. You are good enough. So that can also be on social media platforms, getting more followers, getting more likes, etc., and comments. And to me, it all boils down to coming back to you, because everything that is external is just sources that, at the end of the day, who is the person that matters the most? You are. That's why you are good enough. Okay, so I'll keep this one really short and just share like a few tips of like what helps me to overcome those moments of like self-doubt, or those moments of where I feel like, let me just pack it all in and give up. Thankfully, those moments do not last as long as they do. And the reason why for this, I believe, is a shift in terms of my mindset. Okay, so I've had to develop or build this mechanism with my mindset, and that has consisted of like self healing processes, also having the right support in terms of my healing processes. So, talking therapies, talking cures, somebody, a mirror reflecting me, and me talking out loud to challenge some of like the things which I said, not even I definitely said in the past about myself. Not to say that I don't say them anymore now, but they've minimized, and I'm also very present and aware in the moments that I start to think about negative thoughts more than before. So that's the difference. Because when you build up like your thoughts create or your thoughts become you, so behaviors, etc. And sometimes those thoughts, we can do it, you can be doing it passively and not realizing that behind everything else, you're building up this traction which is fueled with negativity, so from external and from internal as well. So the way to do that to help is through seeking support where you're able to, or even just listening to positive information. So if you're not able to afford those self-healing processes or talking cures, there's also podcasts to help with this growth, mindset growth. That's where your master is in terms of feeling self-fulfilled, feeling as though you're good enough. Positivity, surrounding yourself with people who also help you to build that positive traction. They will challenge you, but it will be challenges that are constructive and challenges that are helpful as well to steer you in the right direction. Okay, so these people might be people who are not your usual circle, because it is helpful to step out of the usual circles. This is where, because there's like this box where most of us feel comfortable with. We don't want to move outside of that box because it feels comfortable. But beyond that, this is where your vision is. This is where the fear is when you first start out. But once you start to cross over and outside of that box, then that's where your growth area comes as well. This is where you start to build traction, because what you're doing is you are walking towards your biggest why. So you're living life more intentionally, more purposefully, and a life that is more aligned with your vision, despite everything else, the external factors that are happening. So there's external factors, are there factors that will challenge you in terms of your self-identity, who you are as a person, and you will always come back as long as you've got your strongest why. You've gone through the process of self-healing to realize what are the things that challenge you the most in terms of who you are as a person. Okay, what are those self-limiting beliefs or personal, professional challenges that you've had in the past which impede on you moving forward, which may cause you to have fear, negative thoughts, all sorts of things, as though you're failing, when in the actual reality, some of those things, it's false evidence appearing real. So other things that I want to share with you as well. So that's what I was sharing with you, was about being centered. So it's in your identity and discovering who that is, focusing on your mindset development, and then focusing as well on being present in the moment. Reason why is being present in the moment rather than the outcomes. When we tend to think about outcomes, that can also negate the outcomes you want to achieve. You can have something planned and mapped, but the more you focus on outcomes, the greater goal, the likelihood is that your mind will start to think, oh no, I can't achieve that goal because it's too grand, it's too difficult, it's too challenging. Okay, so you've outlined your goals, your outcomes. Focus instead on moving 20 steps back to the immediate, the smaller goals that you can achieve realistically. And then that will help you to build traction. Okay, that will help you to stay more aligned and to also feel as though you are achieving your goals rather than the grander picture, which sometimes is set as an unrealistic goal. So the more you build those smaller steps, the likelihood is that when you look back, you will see that you've made grand steps rather than not at all. Because if you think about it, when you negate something, it will stop you from moving forward. The smaller goals are most likely to help you to build the traction to go forward. So focus on being present, on crediting yourself for the small things you have achieved, and also recognizing that the path going forward is going to present itself with turbulence. Okay, look at it as a roller coaster ride, that there's bound to be ups and downs, where some days you feel like they are not achieving anything. Other days you'll be celebrating. So in terms of all of those, just take them as they are, because success does not mean that it's long term either. It's to appreciate it, acknowledge it, thank and bank it, focusing still on you and building traction. Uh, and then the last bit that I want to leave with you as well is the comparison factor. So when you're well grounded within yourself, you will find that you're less likely to focus on the external factors. The sense of not feeling good enough also comes from comparison. Okay, so comparison, as I mentioned in the beginning, is comparing your level of success or your level of progress to other people, or comparing what other people's bright, shiny picture might be, when it's not, it might not be the accurate reflection of what's going on behind the scenes. Because we know that behind the scenes is not all pretty, it's not all glamorous. It takes lots of work to build that traction. So focus in from internally, your reason why, your purpose, being intentional to pursuing the things that you visualize, and then to actualizing them, to making them into a reality. And that's what will also help you to feel as though, not even to feel as though, to feel that you are good enough. This is not to say that self doubt won't creep in, that you won't have off days. I'll put my hand up. I have those. But what it helps you to do is that when you are stuck in those moments, you accept it as a passing moment. You don't accept that this will be permanent, because you have built that resilience to know that you will have days when you need time out, but at the end of the day you will still keep persevering through. I'll end it off with, you are enough, you are good enough. Thanks for connecting with me. And if you're connecting for the very first time, do remember to hit that subscribe button to be notified of my video uploads and spontaneous lives as well. Ciao for me for now, and wishing you continued success.